Why does it feel right every time I buy a book? Why does it feel like I want to fill my reading nook? Hi everyone, welcome back to Gavin Reads It All. I am doing a book haul, which after some videos I uploaded in June, you wouldn't think that you would see one of these. And while I want to reiterate that even though I have posted so many book hauls over the years, and there were some read, some unread books in there, and I felt a lot of shame, I still want to buy books. I don't think it's an inherently bad thing buying books or anything. I think for me, it's just that I want to be a lot more selective and a lot more purposeful when I haul books. And I feel like the books I'm going to show you in this video are books where I feel like they're more purposeful and I picked them for a reason, more so than things just being, oh, you know, that's big at the time and I just kind of want to grab it and get it because I feel a little bit FOMO or stuff like that. You know, these feel purposeful, you know, they've got purpose. So there is a wide array of things in this video. We have adult books, young adult books, middle grade, children's books, and quite a lot I have thrifted as well. So that's another thing. I have been thrifting a lot. I usually do. A lot of the books that I want to get for reading projects are usually books that came out years and years and years ago and they are out of print and stuff like that. So bear in mind, a lot of these books I got secondhand. So let's hope I don't forget that my coffee is there. Like the video if you enjoy, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into the book haul. Now this book haul is covering from end of May, all of June and all of July. So it's about 2.5 months of hauling books. And in May, I ended up doing a Fear Street Cheerleaders vlog. And after doing that vlog, I really did want to continue reading more of the Fear Street spin-offs. So I found some more off eBay. There are 13 Fear Street books that I managed to get off eBay. They are part of different series. And I would like to do a vlog reading all of these in one video. I did do a specific Fear Street Cheerleaders vlog just for the cheerleaders books, but I don't think I want to just do one video per spin-off because that's what I did with my Goosebumps series. But I think for Fear Street, because some of them are only 3 books long, 4 books long, I think I might just do a video just reading a whole bunch of spin-off books. So the ones I got are the new Fear Street books, and these are all by R.L. Stine, you know, my hero. We have The Stepbrother, and then we have Camp Out. Not the best kind of covers. They don't hold up to the original Fear Street covers or the Goosebumps covers, but this is the third one, Scream Jennifer Scream. And then we have The Bad Girl. I don't have too much hope that I'll end up loving these, but these were, you know, secondhand off eBay. They were quite cheap. And then I have the Cataluna Chronicles. So there's 3 books in this one. We have The Evil Moon, The Dark Secret, and The Deadly Fire. So there's 2 spin-offs. The third one I have is the Fear Street Saga. This is one that got recommended quite a lot of what spin-off series I should do next. So we have The Betrayal, The Secret, and The Burning. So that should be exciting. And the last spin-off series I have is 99 Fear Street, The House of Evil. There are 3 books in this one as well, so very short. We have the first horror, the second horror, and then the third horror. So these should be pretty interesting to say the least. I might wait until October time to give these a read. I also got 2 Dan Simmons books off eBay too because I wanted to read one of these at one of my haunted locations. So we have Summer of Night and we also have Children of the Night. And I think this is the sequel to Summer of Night, potentially. Some Sweet Soul was selling these on eBay and I really love the covers. I do love old school horror covers. I think they are so cool. And I just love the illustrations of them. And yeah, I have been reading Summer of Night. It's been okay, not the best. If you like It by Stephen King, this feels like a bit of a watered down version of it. And we do follow some kids who are trying to find out what happened to one of their friends who went missing. And they go missing during the final day at school. And it's kind of set around this school that's on the cover. And yeah, some strange things happen in this little town. It definitely gives It by Stephen King vibes. And then I'm not sure what Children of the Night is about. I believe it is the follow-up. So, a book that I got while I was at one of the haunted locations that I went to, and I've already talked about this before, so I have said where I've been, and that is Jamaica Inn, and I ended up getting Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier while I was there. They had a shop there, okay, and I didn't want to leave Jamaica Inn without buying a book by Daphne du Maurier that was being sold there, and I should have probably bought Jamaica Inn while I was there, but I already had it. I was already reading it, so I ended up going for Frenchman's Creek because I don't have that one, and it probably was the next Daphne du Maurier book that I kind of fancied. I'd already read Rebecca, and I've read The Birds, and then Jamaica Inn. So this would actually be the 4th Daphne du Maurier book that I've read, and I have pretty much enjoyed all of the ones that I've read so far. We follow Lady Donna, and I believe she is part of the court, and she is disgusted by what she sees and hears at the court, so I think she wants to leave. She goes to this Cornish estate. It sounds a little bit like Jamaican. She goes to this Cornish estate, and while at this Cornish estate, there is an outlaw there, a pirate, and she I guess, gets embroiled with this outlaw. But yeah, out of all the Daphne du Maurier books that were there, this was the one that kind of spoke to me the most. Oh, and you know how I have been collecting my puff and cloth bound editions? So I always end up pre-ordering them whenever they get announced on Waterstones, usually during Double Stamps weekend. And I got 5 of the puff and cloth bound pre-orders, and oh my gosh, they are so stunning. Let me show you in a second. Hang on, I need a drink. They're just so beautiful. So we are adding 5 more puff and cloth bound editions to my classics collection, and that shelf is now full. It's actually spilled over into the next shelf, but I will continue collecting these editions because these are my favorite classic editions of anything ever. They are just so cute, so wonderful, and I believe there are still more coming out, which I'll end up having to pre-order next Double Stamps weekend. But of the books that I got in this batch are Alice's Adventure in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I've already read this one and I really like it. I don't think it includes no, it doesn't. It just includes the first book, which is fine, honestly, absolutely fine. It's still stunning. Then we have The Great Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. And I was supposed to read this, or like not just this, but Sherlock Holmes in general, earlier this year. And I still might try and do that, but I want to do it for Sherlock Holmes Day, which I believe is on May 22nd. And obviously it's the end of July now, so, you know, like that dream is gone. But I would still like to read Sherlock Holmes for the very first time at some point, and I think this would be the perfect one to do. I don't know which stories are in here. I don't know if this is just like one story and this is just the contents, or if these are all short stories or something. I feel like it is just like The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I believe that is a singular book. And then we also have The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I've never read this before, and I really do want to. I have been into more of my children's classics this year than like actual contemporary middle grades for some reason. Usually I hate a lot of the children's classics because they haven't aged well, but I have such high hopes for this. Wind in the Willows, I've seen some adaptations of it, and it would be so nice to actually read the original story. I actually don't really know too much of what it's about. I watched the adaptations when I was a kid, and I just remember a frog or a toad. Yeah, a toad. I think a toad. And I might be wrong on that too. Oh my god, I can't get the K-pop Demon Hunter songs out of my head. Focus, Gavin, focus. The fourth one is Kiki's Delivery Service by Eiko Kidono. This is actually my 3rd copy of this book. I really do enjoy this book so much. And of course, I love the Studio Ghibli film as well. And when they said this is going to be puff and cloth bound, oh, you know I had to have it. It's actually been a while since I watched the Studio Ghibli film, so I might have to give this one a rewatch. But isn't this cover so beautiful and so lovely? Oh my gosh, look at Gigi. Oh my gosh, like just like a little cute cat just hanging off the broom. Oh, so yeah, if I'm ever going to reread this one, which is most likely going to happen at some point, then this would be the version that I will end up rereading. I have the Fairy Loot edition, I have the normal regular edition that came out a few years ago, and I just love the story, what can I say? And then finally, of the Puff and Cloth bound, this book is in my 25 books to read in 2025, because I do have a different copy of this. I have like a seasons edition of it, but it is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. Now don't tell me you don't love this cover as well. All of the Puff and Cloth bounds are just the most beautiful, stunning editions you've ever seen in your life. And so when I get to this one, I will most likely read this version. It is beautiful. So yeah, I still haven't read it yet, but I do need to read it by the end of the year. And I will definitely do that because one thing that I did from my 24 books to read in 2024 is I had to try and read all of them at the very start of this year, 2025. And I was left with some big books, and I don't want to do that to myself again. So I really do want to try and get to that list a little bit more. But yeah, these are the Puff and Cloth bound editions in my shelf, which is full of them. Oh, it's just the best shelf in this room. Just hands down. This is what it sounds like. Like these are my soda pop. That's how much I love them. Oh, I got some books when I was in London a couple of weeks ago for my friend's hen do, and there are a couple more books in this little stack here, but I've kind of mixed them all up. Oops. But the first one that I did get was Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. I really do love this edition, and I actually read this book very, very recently as well. I read it for a Christie Crime Solve along with my patrons, and I didn't get it right. I'm just going to tell you now because I love trying to solve these. Agatha Christie books are not always the best, and I wouldn't say they're among my favourite mystery books of all time, but I love trying to solve them, and I didn't get this one right. I think I got it half right, but I didn't get it right, so it doesn't count. So Agatha Christie did not solve the case, unfortunately. But as a book, I really enjoyed this, and definitely a great one to read during the summer. So this is a Poirot book. He's on vacation. However, whenever he goes on vacation, he just knows someone's going to die. But while he's on holiday, he does see this really attractive woman getting so much attention from like the males around her, and she ends up dead. And Poirot now has to try and solve the case, and it was actually very engrossing, and I really did like the summer vibes in this, so definitely a good recommendation from moi. A book that I read recently, but you're not allowed to say the video until October. It's like, I don't want to give you my thoughts and feelings on it, but it is Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. I'm trying so hard to like keep my personal opinions on this like out of this, and I don't even want to tell you if I liked it or didn't like it, although I've already rated it on Storygraph, so if you really do want to find out my rating, You'll have to find out via my story graph. But this is a gothic set in the Netherlands in the late 1800s, and we follow Lucy, and she has a twin sister, Sarah. Sarah is very unwell. She has sent a letter to Lucy, and Lucy has come to where Sarah lives to find out what's going on. In Sarah, she did find this body in the bog, aka the bog body, and it seems to have like changed Sarah, and Sarah now has developed this taste for blood. And it's just, I'm not going to say. I was just about to tell you something. I'm not going to say. But I did get this one based on the recommendations of some of my patrons. So thank you so much. Because they're my little soda pops, you know what I mean? My little soda pops. I need to shut up and stop singing. Wild Seed by Octavia A. Butler is the next book that I hold. And this is for my R Fantasy bingo. And yeah, so as I say, like most of these books, okay, in this video, I've said are for a reason, for a purpose, and even the ones that I have bought are usually ones that I kind of already enjoyed, like Evil Under the Sun, Kiki's Delivery Service, stuff like that. But Wild Seed by Octavia A. Butler, I know I love Octavia A. Butler. I have read some Octavia A. Butler books by this point, and I really wanted something for my R Fantasy bingo written by Octavia A. Butler, and I've heard great things about this. I'm not 100% sure what this is about. I just know that there are a couple of ancient spirits, and one of them has cultivated this like village where they strive for perfection, and this spirit also like takes their souls or something like that, or he steals from their bodies to sustain his own life. Doro fears no one until he meets Anyanwu, and apparently it's an epic story of love and hate. And it's also the first book in a series as well. I think the Patternist series, I think I'm going to love it. And I'm saving it for our Fantasy Bingo, which I want to do episode 2 by September, I think. I would love to try and do August, but I am doing a few things in August. But I think September I might be able to do in the next episode. That would be cool. Speaking of our Fantasy Bingo episode 2, I would love to get to Discovery by J.A.J. Minton for episode 2 of our Fantasy Bingo. I think this would fit perfectly. Especially, there's a prompt I think called like a book in parts, and this book is in parts. But J.A.J. Minton, they are John, Amy, and Jacob. And John and Jacob, they do run the YouTube channel Talking Story. And they were so lovely, along with Amy, to send this book my way. And to, I mean, also look at the bookmark. Like, isn't that amazing? And they also dedicated and signed it as well. Amazing. Amazing stuff. So honestly, thank you so much to all three of them for doing that for me. So I believe this is set in 1992, aka the year I was born, aka the year of Gavin. And we follow a disgraced X-Game show host called Manny, and he wants to have his comeback by doing this deep sea special in the South Pacific. However, he does attract the attention of a cosmic being, and I believe there is some kind of like deep sea alien kind of discovery, which would fit in very well with the title of the book. So I believe this is like cosmic fantasy, sci-fi, horror, a combination of things. And I'm just so excited to read it. I love it when you see the talent and the creativity of booktubers. So this will be a very interesting one to read, I think. Hoping it'll be my next soda pop. I need to stop. Okay, going from like cosmic horror to like a gay romance. We have Cubs and Campfires by Dylan Drakes. This one was just a really random thing that I just scrolled by, and I was just taken by, well, one, how cute the cover is. But two, the fact that it's called Cubs and Campfires, like, that's cute, that's adorable. And this is a spicy romance, apparently. I'll be the judge of that. And I believe there's like a watchtower. Yeah, Luca, he goes for a fire watch in the picturesque mountains of Washington State. However, the husky and flirtatious Arte, a musician and wilderness enthusiast, takes up camp nearby. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be adorable. And this could be the one that gets me out of a reading slump. Potentially. I am in a bit of a reading slump right now, so I'm trying so hard to fight through it. This could be the one. This could be the one. Another one that's been recommended to me from a few patrons is To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Monakill Blackgoose. Another one that I would love to read for our Fantasy Bingo. Potentially episode 2. I think episode 2 is just going to be filled with such great reads. Like, I'm already manifesting this. I believe we follow a 15-year-old, and we are set on this like island that has never seen a dragon for hundreds of years. And this 15-year-old ends up finding a dragon's egg. Anarchus, I think, is what the main character is called. And she ends up bonding with its hatchling. So hey, I love dragons. I love shapes. I love breath. I think I would love all things to do with this book. And you know what else I love? K-pop Demon Hunters. So you know how before I mentioned I went to London for a hen do? There were a couple more books that I got while I was there, and it was in the buy one get one half price of Warstones. And we have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. Got these, buy one, get one half price. And this one was a recommendation from Steph Loves, love her. She absolutely loves Abby Jimenez, and I still haven't read a single Abby Jimenez book. So this will be my first one, and I plan on taking this because I have a wedding coming up in Mallorca in August, so it's just one of the many things that I'm doing in August, and I kind of want to take this and have like a little bit of a beach read, maybe like a beach read in Mallorca kind of vlog. And maybe maybe that sounds really boring to you, but I feel like maybe that could be the one, and I think I would love to read this for that one. Oh my god, like, see, the guy, the love interest, Xavier, is a veterinarian. Oh, and he's giving Greek god vibes, of course. And I think the main character is called Samantha. And they have an incredible date. I don't really know what else happens from there. But I would love to try and get into Abby Jimenez. And I think this could be my little gateway into that. And I really do trust Steph's opinion. Sometimes, actually. Sometimes. Steph, I love you. I do. But sometimes I have to question your taste. Like Riley Sager giving some of his books 4 stars. I love you, Steph. I love you. Anyway, the other one was The Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. I love T. Kingfisher. I've read quite a few T. Kingfisher books at this point. Still haven't read this one yet, and it looked really nice. It was in the buy one get one half price. I was going to get it. And all I know about this is that we follow Cordelia. She lives with her mother, and the house is strange. Like, the house doesn't have any doors or anything like that. And I think her mother is maybe a little bit too, what's the word? Like, protective? Potentially. And her mother also turns out to be a sorceress. So hopefully another T. Kingfisher win. I don't think I've read a single T. Kingfisher book that I haven't liked yet. Bear in mind, I haven't read that many, but I've still enjoyed every one I have read. Oh, got some sexy Broken Binding books here. Oh my god. I've never read the series before. It's the Inheritance Cycle series by Christopher Paolini. And I want to do a complete series reading vlog reading all of these because have you seen how freaking stunning they are? And I love the feel of the like dust jackets as well. I don't know how Broken Binding have done it, but these dust jackets just feel different than usual. And they feel so clean and so sharp and so amazing. But yeah, just absolutely freaking stunning. And I can't believe I never ever read Eragon or even seen the film or anything. Like, I have no idea exactly what the series is about, but I knew I wanted to do a complete series reading vlog because I think this is considered young adult. I have been trying to read like the classic young adult books of recent memory. So The Hunger Games and The Raven Cycle are 2 classic young adult series that I have read for a complete series reading vlog. And I think Eragon, aka The Inheritance Cycle, is going to be my next one. Oh my god, I just can't get over just how beautiful, amazing this Broken Binding edition looks. So there's Eragon. We have Eldest. I think this is in order. We have Brissinger. I think this is called Brissinger. And we also have Inheritance. So that is the final book. They're massive. Absolutely massive. Like, the books get bigger and bigger. Oh my god. So I definitely want to get to those. Do a complete series reading vlog. And yeah. I want to do that one. Vampire Academy I also have. Those should be coming at some point in 2025. If not, early 2026. But also, speaking of the Broken Binding, I also managed to get the next John Gwynne trilogy. And I have been reading through the Faithful and the Fallen series and have been absolutely loving it. And I actually bought this collection because it was for the catch-up book club, but I have had to like leave like pretty much all of the read-alongs I was doing because I was just finding myself way too busy and I was drowning in everything. And I bought these books and then I decided that I wasn't going to continue on with the read-along just so I had some more time for myself, you know. But I'm still glad I got these, don't get me wrong, because I have been loving John Gwynne's writing style and I can't wait to finish off this entire series. So I do think I might end up enjoying this. We have A Time of Dread, A Time of Blood, and A Time of Courage. And also, they've just released new dust jackets for the series as well, which is A Blood and Bone. And I have also got the new dust jackets, so they should be coming at some point. But yeah, I know this is like another expense, but I know that I have been enjoying John Gwynne, and this is a series that I will definitely get to. And I don't already own this series either. It's not a repeat purchase or anything. I have never owned this series. I only have the Faithful and the Fallen in paperback, and I also have the first book in the Bloodsworn series, but I got that ages ago. So another Broken Binding, which is my favorite subscription box, is a Doomsday book by Connie Willis. I do think this was part of the subscription. I didn't like go out my way to get this, I don't think. All I know about this is that we follow Kivrin and they are studying the deadliest era in human history. I feel like they get trapped or something and they need saving. I don't know, this came out back in the 90s. I'd never heard of it, so I do think this is part of the subscription because I don't think I would have gotten that if it was like on its own. But it still sounds good. I still can't wait to give it a chance. And then the final book box stuff, the final Broken Binding stuff, we have Hyperion by Dan Simmons. So I mentioned, you know, Children of Night and Summer of Night before. This is their sci-fi which I've heard nothing but great things about. There is some kind of creature called the Shrike that in the world of Hyperion, some people, you know, worship it, some people fear it, and there are some people who have vowed to destroy it. Honestly, it sounds freaking fantastic. I might also try and save this for our fantasy bingo, because I think you can read one author, like you can't like do repeat authors, and I haven't read Dan Simmons yet for it, so that could be a good one too. And yeah, the final two from Rogue Mountain are these two. So we have Magician by Raymond A. Feist, the first book in the Rift War saga, and then also Silverthorn, which is in the same series. And yeah, absolutely beautiful editions yet again. Oh my gosh, stunning. Cannot wait to read. Also, the fact that the first book is so much bigger than the second. The second book looks like a novella at this point. We follow Pug, who was a kitchen boy and now wants to become a warrior. I believe their friends were scattered throughout the world after maybe the Rift War. Maybe. And it does sound like typical fantasy in a way, but oh my gosh, like, I feel like these are going to be so incredible to read. I was feeling a little bit burned out by fantasy very briefly. I feel like maybe it's slowly coming back. I just need to kick this reading slump out of this house. And then once it's kicked out, we're going to be back on our fantasy shit. I got a couple of books I read recently for Summerween. I have It Came From the Trees by Ali Russell. This is a middle grade, quite creepy, quite good. We follow Jenna, who's in the Scouts, and she is camping with her best friend, but this creature thing takes her best friend from the tent. Quite scary, and Jenna now wants to save her best friend. I also read The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones for Summerween, so I've read this one too. This one follows Etsy, and they want to get published, and they want to be an academic, and they end up finding a journal that belonged to their grandfather, which shares some secrets of like her family and the past. So yeah, really good read. Very much enjoyed it. Don't really need to talk too much about it because I already like reviewed it and stuff. One that I didn't manage to get to in Summerween was The Corruption of Hollis Brown by Kay Ankrum. This one follows Hollis, and he feels trapped in the town that he lives in, and he ends up accidentally making, I think, a deal with some kind of crossroads demon, given very supernatural vibes. I think they accidentally make a deal and they get corrupted. That's my theory. And I would love to read this because I did want to get to it in Summerween. Time escaped me. Another book that I really want to read in Summerween was The Weight of Blood by Tiffany Day Jackson. So this is a Carrie kind of inspired story. Love Tiffany Day Jackson so much. I have given their books like 4.55 stars. And this one follows a girl called Maddie who is biracial but is always passed for white, I believe. And there must be some kind of like prom thing that we end up building to if it's kind of like inspired by Carrie. I heard really good things about this. This has been recommended to me quite a few times. So I will definitely be giving this a read, maybe during the spooky season. I also have The Mythmakers by Tamsin Merchant. This is the fourth book in the Hatmakers series, which is a series I have loved. I still need to read the third book, so I might try and binge the third and fourth book together. But it is set in a world where there are hat makers who can imbue magic in these hats. So like when you wear it, you kind of have these different things that can happen, like different properties, make you do different abilities and stuff like that. I don't think this actually follows the same characters. I think actually it follows new characters because it's talking about Gwyn and Prince Arthur. So I feel like maybe this one has a totally different vibe to the first few. Very excited to find out though. I also have The Man on the Endless Stair by Chris Barkley. So Chris Barkley, I can call a friend. We follow a young author in post-war Britain and they are made a protege to a really famous writer. This famous writer seems to be acting a little bit strange recently and they have asked the main character to finish their masterpiece for them or something like that. And it sounds really good. Like it sounds very literary. It's had great reviews so far. So definitely excited to read this and support Chris. And then finally of the novels, before I do have a little batch of manga, whether or not you're interested in that, you can totally skip that part. But the last like full-on novel that I have is Death and Other Occupational Hazards by Veronica Dupunt. Did I buy this when I was in London? I freaking love the title of this. It sounds like one of those stories where, you know, like it has weird like murder in the title, but makes it quirky. A bit like, you know, everyone in my family's killed someone, etc, etc. And this sounds so different because this actually follows Death themselves. And Death wants a vacation. And they go on vacation. However, everything goes wrong when they go on vacation. Another one where I've heard great reviews for, so definitely want to check this out too. Right, I will do my best to fly through this manga then. I have a few One Piece that I collected, so I have volume 109, which, you know, my favorite series of all time. But also there are the like kind of like light novels of like One Piece heroines that have been coming out. So we have volume 1. and volume 2. These are a collection of stories that are based around the heroines in the One Piece world. So sounds freaking awesome. I picked up volume 13 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, the most recent volume of Frieren. I am slowly catching up to the series, and I have recently just read volume 7 through 9, and I've done a video for my manga channel, a kind of reading vlog, so definitely check that out if you haven't already and you're a fan of Frieren. So I do want to get to volumes 10 to 13 pretty soon. So of course I had to pick up the newest volume. Love the series so far. Like, it hasn't been blowing me away as much as I thought it would, but it's still very, very good. Also, Summer Hikaru Died volume 5 I also picked up. I also have a volumes 1 through 5 reading vlog on my manga channel if you want to check it out. The anime has just started. I watched the first episode and it was very, very good. And the manga series I absolutely adore. So definitely happy I got this. And I think volume 6 is coming out in a couple of months, so I'm definitely going to get that one. A pretty underrated series that I haven't heard anyone talking about really is Eden of Witches. I read the first volume and actually really loved it. So I got volumes 2 and 3, and I would love to do a video on my manga channel talking about this series and hopefully giving it a little bit more hype, since not really very many people are talking about it that I've seen online. It's more about like witches and nature and like how humans have kind of decimated the planet and witches are trying to keep themselves protected. And the main character, events happen in the first book that causes the main character to have to like leave the sanctuary of where she has been hiding as a witch. So good, really enjoyed it, can't wait to carry on. And they both just fallen on the floor. Okay. My man Junji Ito has released The Liminal Zone 2, which I haven't read yet, but I have loved pretty much most of Junji Ito's works. I think he's a fantastic horror writer, and I actually think I may have already read a couple of stories in this one because the back cover, those kids and that tombstone thing looks rather familiar. So I don't know how much of these stories is new. It's quite short, but hopefully enough to justify buying a copy of it, I hope. I got Solo Leveling Volume 1 because Jade and Steph have been raving about this one, and it got pretty hard to get hold of at one point. So as soon as I saw it, I think it was in Forbidden Planet or Traveling Man. In one of those, I saw that they actually had a volume 1 and I ended up picking it up. And we follow an A-rank hunter called Jinwoo. I have no idea what an A-rank thing is. And he is trying to provide for his family, and he has to like do these like really dangerous jobs and stuff like that. I got a very steamy gay romance from Forbidden Planet as well called Ask and You Will Receive. This one follows an office worker by day, playboy by night, and the sexy little adventures that they get up to. That's all I can say about that. And the love interest is called Hikaru. So I love the fact that I have the Summer Hikaru Died, which is like giving some BL vibes, versus this one where it's definite BL vibes. One is subtle, one is not. And finally on eBay, I'm so glad a seller was selling all of these at once, but it's the Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 manga series. Do you know how hard it is to get this series? It's been out of print for years. People are selling just one copy of this for like £150, and a beautiful eBay seller soul was selling all 5 of these together for a really reasonable price. And since I couldn't get it anywhere else, I went for it because I love Kingdom Hearts so much. It is my favorite video game series of all time. I want to get through reading the manga series. I've read the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix manga and I want to continue on, and this is one of the series that I need to read. It is a Disney and Final Fantasy concoction. Very fun video game series. I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4, even though I was a little bit disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3, a little bit, but I still absolutely love the series. It's my childhood. I just love it so much, and so yeah, I had to have these so badly. And that is my book haul, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I hold in this video, anything that you think I should prioritize. Then I would love to chat to you down in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.